the folder that Git creates. Yes, this is the content of that folder. So I think that's important just to know. So sometimes you might want to troubleshoot. So we have cloned. That's our folder. So let me get out of this folder. Clear this. You can spell it. So never set up Git. If you're using Git for the first time, there's one step you need to do, and where is this? There are things you need to set your identity. So the command here is git config. So there's this option global user.name and there's user.email. This is important when you are writing when you're pushing. If you've not set it, Git will ask you who are you, and you'll get the chance to set it up. But in case you just want to do it yourself, you just type git config config global user.name. So this name is normally the same. It's normally advised to be like the same as what you have in your repository. So for me, mine is what kitmikai. Just say, I think it's in quotes, kitmikai. Okay. And then the other one is git config global user dot email, and then you set your email. So for me, I use the email that I signed in and signed up with the with GitHub, and I think why is this happening here? Let's put my profile. Okay, it's not visible, but I just have my Gmail, my Gmail email. So for you, Christine, for the first time, you need to set those two commands. Just run them, and that's it. You won't set them any other time, unless sometimes you find that at work you have a different GitHub. It's a Git account. So for that, you also need to set for your other maybe the work GitHub account. For enterprise, normally it's called GitLab. I think GitLab. You see there's a project here. So this one is for enterprise. Normally it's paid for. I think Microsoft bought it. But anyway, let's get back to what we want to do. So now we've cloned our first our project, and now we want to work on it. So here I have installed VS Code. So this is how I started from. This is how I started from the terminal. So just a code dot, and then the user data directory option. Even if you use code dot is okay, it will still work. So to launch VS Code, okay, and from here you can create like a new file. Let's create a new file here and say this is hello, just an index.html. And inside here you can put some HTML, say This calendar. And up. The body we have we'll come to the calendar. Okay. What else can we put here? Sorry. Okay. Let's do some lorem ipsum. Not right, supposed to be paragraph. Then I say lorem. Okay. So we can easily see what we've done. Just right click on it and open it live server. I think it opens with Google Chrome. So take some time there. Yep. And there we have it. So this extension, this live server is an extension that you can install. It's called live server. I think it's 2 words. Yeah, live server. Just install the extension. It's by Ritwik Day. It's kind of useful. So anytime you'll be doing your HTML editing, if you edit this file, it will automatically be pushed. It will reload automatically on this. Okay, so we've done our changes to our file. So let's push this to our Git repository. So first of all, a few things. Git normally keeps track of changed files, and you can see here using this command git status, it tells you which branch you are in. It tells you on master. It is up to date with origin master. That is what you have locally is up to date with what is in the repository. Then it tells you have untracked files. So when Git is not tracking files, it will tell you it's not tracking, and then it will suggest that you use this command git add and the file name to include it in what will be committed. So once you add it to Git, Git will start tracking it. You can see it's telling you that nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. So use git add to track. So let's add this file, add index.html. Then if you issue the same command, git status again, you see it tells you that changes to be committed. So there's a new file that we are tracking called index.html, and we can push this to our repository in GitHub. Say if you didn't want to track it for some reason, so the command is to just say git reset index. Actually, you can put head index.html and git status again. It tells you that file is being untracked. So you don't delete once you start tracking with Git, and you delete this file from the. It will tell you that there's a file that is. It's still tracking it, but the file is not there. So that one we'll tackle that one later. So let's first of all just add this file to Git. Now, once you add the file to Git, you need to commit. So see here, it tells you to use git reset head to change, that is to commit this file. Now, a commit means to now push it, now to make it, the changes that you have made are now permanent. Now Git can start tracking, or rather continue tracking it. So the command is git commit -m for the message. Now, when you commit, there are rules that you should be aware about. Now, when you're committing, the message is it's just a short description of what maybe you have made. That is the changes that you've done on the file, so that it is very easy for maybe for working on a project with other team members. They know what you have done or the changes you've made to the file. So here we can say add h1 h1 header and a paragraph. Or if it was like the first commit, you can say initial commit. Doesn't matter. Let's just say add h1 and paragraph. So it should be short, and then it is supposed to be the first word in the message should be capitalized and should always be in the present tense. You cannot say added or deleted or edited. It should be add h1. That is present tense. So that is add h1 and a paragraph. Maybe you can say the paragraph. That's it. So Git status. Once again, so Git tells you that your branch is ahead of origin master by one commit. So it means locally you've made some changes that are not available in the repository. So to make them be on the same number of commits, you use this command git push to publish your local commits. So this means that you can be working on this file the whole day and then you commit. But the best practice is to do small commits. So once you do something small, let's say like you add something like this, you can commit. We call them atomic commits. Yeah. So that is easier to do code review and also track the changes. So we can just push. So it's normally origin master. So these two arguments, origin is where you are writing from, or rather that is your local repository. Let me just call it a local repository. And then master is the one in the GitHub repository. So you're pushing changes that you made locally to your master, which is in the cloud. So it's going to ask you for your username and the password. And you're done. So if you check on your Git repository, you should see the changes. You can see the file now is there, and you can see the commit has been the commit message is shown here when you pushed it. Okay, and if you want to see it, you can open it. Yeah, so this is the code that is there. Any questions up to there, Christine?
questions on my side.
Okay, nice. So let's look at a scenario whereby, let's say we are working on this app, and you want some collaboration. So let's say you wanted to have one of your colleagues says, I want to deal with something like images. I want to add images to this HTML file, and you want to work together. So your colleague will be working on just images, and they will be fixing it on, rather inserting the images in this index of HTML. So let's see how that will go. First of all, let's create a folder, an image folder. You can say images. We need some images. I think I have some images. Let me see. Okay. I have some images here. I'll pick two. I'll pick this one, this one. Okay, nice. What else is there? So remember, I've just created a new folder. So what we can do, let's see what Git says. So we have a new folder that is untracked. So we want to include it in the repository. So just say git add images, then git commit, and the message here is add images folder, then git push. Can you even just do git push? Okay, now let's create a branch. Let's say the branch, we can call it images. So the command to create a branch is git branch minus, actually it's just like this, git checkout minus b. Although I know I'm shortcutting this, so let's call it this. ft is a feature images. Okay, so let me just load the documentation here. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Okay. So there's this website GitSCM, which is really good to no, okay, this is not what I want. Okay, let me just let me just explain what I've done here. It's easier. So anytime you create, you want to switch to a new branch, you can just use the command git checkout and then the name of the branch. Now, what I've written here is that I'm telling Git I want to create a new branch and switch to it. So the name of the branch is ft images. If I want to delete it, I just say git checkout -d ft images. And I think it will give me a lot of, oh, sorry, not D. I think it's capital. Oh yes, this is the command -b, create and check out a new branch. I don't know why for some reason they've not listed the delete branch, but there's a way to delete it. But let's not. Okay, let's just move on. Clear this. So you can see. Well, here we are already in the FT images branch, but I'm sure Christine, you've not tweaked your laptop like they have done mine. So let's say, how do you list the branches that you have? So just use the command git branch. It shows you all the branches that you are in. So the one that has a star, an asterisk, I hope you are able to see. The one that has an asterisk is where you are in right now. If you want to switch to master, just say git check out master. Switch to branch master, git branch. It tells you you're in master. If you want to list all the branches that you have, you use the -a switch. So it tells you these are all the list for you the branches that you have. So let's switch to the images branch and work on it. Sorry, git checkout. I always forget this. Feature images. Okay. So what do we have here? So once you switch to a new branch, it will fetch all the files that were in the master branch, and you're going to see them in your branch. So from VS Code, at the bottom right, bottom left, that is, you'll see there's a small area where it just shows which branch you're in. If you click on it and come here, you can also be able to switch between the branches very easily. So that makes it a bit easier. You can also use the terminal feature on VS Code. So you can just say git checkout master, and you switch back to master. Okay. So let's add some images here. You can add an img. So the source is images. Then you can add something like this one. Okay. All right. Then let's push some changes. Okay, so he modifies this file. So we say git add. Push. So you see now you're saying that the current branch images has no upstream branch to push to the current branch. So to push to the current branch and set the remote upstream, use this command. So just copy it the way it is. That's a good thing with Git. Alternatively, you can also could also set, just go to your repository and create a new branch here. If you wanted to create a branch, you can create a new branch here. I think you can just come here. You need to add a branch. Yeah? But most of the time, you'll find yourself just using the command line. Okay, I don't know if okay. Personally, I prefer using this. I would never use that that feature. So press this. Password. Okay, so it tells you there's a new branch in the remote. Sawa. So branch FT images is set up to track remote. This is, well, for me, this is a bit easier to work with than doing it on this on GitHub. So if you go to GitHub, in the repository, you can see now you have two branches. There are recent pushes less than a minute ago. So this means that there were some changes, rather some code has been pushed, and if you want to merge it to the master branch, you should be able to do it from here. So you can also merge from the terminal, and also you can merge from here by creating a pull request. But before we do that, let's go to our VS Code for a minute. So let me show you. So this branch has the image, but if you come to the master branch, you can see that this file does not have the image. So we want to merge changes from the images branch to the master branch. Now, if you're using VS Code has quite a number of features you can use to. Thanks, Bet. 10 minutes. Yeah. So you can use the features to merge with the images branch. But let me show you from the command line. So the procedure, or rather the steps, you first of all check out to the master branch. Then you say git merge the images from the images branch. Okay. And you can see there's some changes. There are 4 changes, 1 file change. There are 4 insertions. So git status, It tells you your branch is ahead of origin master by one commit. Use git push to publish your local commits. So if I just git push or just git push, good. Let's confirm. You can see on the master branch, we've added the image. If you go to our VS Code, yes, now you can see the image has been added here, and there it is. It's been reloaded. So that's the image that has appeared. So I think I want to stop there for now. Questions?
Thanks, Timo. I can actually, as you were teaching, I was actually going through my notes, and I could see that everything you're actually touching on is everything on Devask for Git and GitHub. So I think this content will be very helpful.
Okay.
There is just one very simple question. Maybe just in a minute, maybe just take us through the concept of Git diff.
Git diff. So Git diff, you use it to check which, like diff. Okay, there's a Linux command called diff used to check. You can use it to check, to compare two files and see where the differences are. Let me see. I know it is somewhere here. Diff, yeah, shows changes between commits, commit on the working tree. So let's do this git logs to list the git log. Yeah. So so far we've been making commits, and using this command git log, you can be able to see the commits that we've been making. Like this was the first one. Sorry, not the first one. This is the last commit we've made, which is add image, and the one before it was add images folder, and the first one was that we made was add h1 paragraph. So git diff, let me see what arguments it takes. Show change between commits. So options commits. All right. So you can check this commit. Be up to there. And this one. So it shows you that this is what was added in that commit. This is a difference. So we added an image, and you can see we put this commit, the one that we added the image, and the one that was before it. So you can clearly see that you can clearly see what was added. These 4 lines. That includes the image tag and the image itself, the alt, and that tag. So you can use it to check what were the differences in the commits. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
You can even do git diff, I think, more than one commit. Let me see. And this one. Yeah, you can see the changes that were made. Okay, so those are the basic commands that Git Git has. I think for now we can stop there unless you have other question, comments.